how could we have missed this? In the Bad Batch Season 3, Crosshair is meeting his new assigned commander at the Battle Memorial. Crosshair has his order to do whatever is necessary to secure the release of Governor Groton from his separatist captors. When his new commander arrives, it turns out to be Commander Cody, the once commander of Obi-Wan Kenobi's forces during the Clone Wars. Like most other clones, aside from those immune to the effects of Order 66, Cody attempted to kill his Jedi general. As Cody and Crosshair talk, Commander Cody mentions that Clone Force 99 had gone rogue during Order 66. Crosshair confirms it and adds that regs, or regular clone troopers, have deserted as well. Commander Cody says the rumor has it that more and more clones are questioning the Order. One can only determine that he means Order 66. But what does this mean for the interaction between the old battle buddies, and what does it mean for the rest of the clones still in Imperial service? That's today's topic. But first, a word from our benefactor, me. Hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled program. Crosshair isn't surprised by the news of the rumors, but he says something else that leads us to believe the deserting clones are upset with their actions during Order 66. He says, then there are traitors, like the Jedi, meaning they are no different than Jedi and may even be considered Jedi sympathizers. I've made other videos on the topic of clones leaving the Empire and that there may even be an uprising of clones. That would finally put a rest to what happened to the remaining clones during this time period. But this interaction between Commander Cody and Crosshair in the Bad Batch Season 2 Episode 3 is deeper than its appearance. What can lead us to this conclusion is Commander Cody mentioning that he requested Crosshair specifically. Immediately after saying this, he went into the bit about Clone Force 99 going rogue. This wasn't to give Crosshair information that Crosshair knew all too well already, and it wasn't to confirm what Cody already knew himself. It was to feel Crosshair out, to see if Crosshair was ready to join him in leaving the Empire, or at minimum, look the other way if Cody decided to leave, or I should say when Cody decides to make his exit from Imperial service. I know I've made other videos related to this topic, I said that before, but watching the episode again and really paying closer attention to the words used between Cody and Crosshair really drove it all home for me. Think about it. Clones are leaving the Empire because they're questioning Order 66, an order they had no choice but to follow, not because of their military upbringing alone, but because the chips in their heads took their free will away. We saw what happened when Captain Rex tried to fight it when he was being made to execute Ahsoka Tano. He couldn't do it. The chip was too strong. The Kaminoans said that the clones would follow their orders unquestioned, and in the moment of Order 66, they did just that. But now, they are resisting. Captain Wilco may have still been in loyal service to the Empire, but he was showing signs of questioning some orders. Maybe a side effect of the chips being activated is that the chips eventually wear off, and maybe they become even more independent than they were prior to the chip's activation. If they weren't forced into Order 66, do we think they would still desert the Empire? If the clones were used as more of a military with ending wars as a reason to exist, would they have stayed? Would they have been more loyal? Would the cloning continue? And the questions go on. And what would that mean for the rebellion later on? Sure, bring conscripts into service as stormtrooper police force, but leave the clones out of being occupation troops. Those are just thoughts, but the fact remains the clones aren't the same as we saw them in the Bad Batch Season 1, and Commander Cody was likely hoping Crosshair would join him, not only for a kindred spirit and brother-in-arms, but because Cody would need help evading capture. The best way to do that is by linking up with a group that has been on the run for months already and avoided being taken in, a group that is officially dead in the eyes of the Empire, the Bad Batch. Which brings me to my next topic. Why would Crosshair have lied to the Empire about Clone Force 99 dying in the bombardment of Kamino? assuming he did lie about it, which we can all safely assume is the case. Why? Because Crosshair was rescued by Hunter and company before they made their escape. They even tried to get him to join them. But 32 rotations later, when Crosshair was recovered, he made no mention that they escaped. And I'm sure he was questioned heavily about their fates. The Empire would wanted confirmation, and Crosshair was the only one who could give it to them. Then more questions are raised. Why would he lie for them? Why wouldn't he have told the truth? The simple and obvious reason is that they saved him. He may be a good soldier who follows orders, but he still had integrity. Crosshair isn't evil, just disillusioned by the Empire. But then there's another possible explanation. Maybe he wanted them to survive in case he ever decided to take them up on their offer. I know that one's a bit of a stretch, but it could not have been Commander Cody alone who convinced Crosshair that what they're doing and what they have done is wrong. It would have taken more than that, and we've seen that in Crosshair. He's not easily convinced. Someone to plant the notion in his head that he was close to. And who was he closest to other than the team he had been with since his creation? Nobody. Then there's the Omega factor. Omega showed him compassion, even though he tried to kill her. She risked her life to save him, even though she had every reason to let him die. Her innocence could have shown him there is something to fight for other than military dedication, and that maybe being sent to kill her and the others wasn't the right order, after witnessing Omega's forgiveness. Whatever the reason, we can be sure the Bad Batch is going to get so much more interesting. Not that it already isn't, but these worlds will collide. The world of Clone Force 99, Crosshair, Commander Cody, and the clones regretting their actions during Order 66. And maybe Echo's bit about not doing enough ties into all of this. At this point, it wouldn't make much of an impact if Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Echo, and Omega were to join the Rebel Alliance. But it would make a lot of sense for them to get involved in either a clone uprising or help funnel them out of Imperial sights. Personally, I think the uprising makes more sense. This would give Echo the chance to feel like he's doing something great by helping his brothers achieve their independence. Not just his brothers in Clone Force 99, but the Regs as well. Remember, he was once a Reg himself, and he likely thinks more like they do than Hunter and the others do. The biggest heartbreak of this scene between Commander Cody and Crosshair is one that I haven't spoken about before, and that's the Battle Memorial Wall. Yes, clones were created for war, and to possibly die in that war. But the way Cody is viewing the wall is a silent protest. A protest that all these men have died in order to bring about the Empire, a regime bent on domination, not the peace that was promised, a promise that was a lie from the beginning, and Cody is beginning to put the pieces together. They were used as pawns in a war orchestrated by an evil madman who couldn't care less how many of Cody's brothers died to achieve his goal. There was no real war, only the war that Palpatine orchestrated in order to solidify his own power throughout the galaxy. These dead brothers and their fallen Jedi are a testament to that. But as a reminder, Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, also promised the Separatists peace. We saw the peace they got in Revenge of the Sith. I know a lot of this was just spitballing ideas, and that's really all I meant it to be. I watched the episode of The Bad Batch again and just wanted to share some thoughts. That's all I have for now. But before I go, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and giving the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And so would my channel. But that's all I have for today. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off. Wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars fandom is the only way.